Hundreds in our region will have sons or daughters head out next fall to universities as student athletes. Most will have little, if any, idea what to expect when they hit campus and begin the next chapter in their lives.
Over the next few nights, we are going to offer a little insight into what awaits through the eyes of one of the finest student athletes in the country. Luke Palko, St. Francis University, has not only been a standout on the field, but is now considered one of the top 20 academics among the athletes in the country. We begin with Palko saying, understand your priorities.
There's a bunch of unknowns. You don't know about the people you're going to be around. You don't know about the classes, about the professors. I mean, you hear stuff from people, but you're not exactly sure of how exactly it is.
Luke Palko has been one of St. Francis University's best wide receivers ever. Having said that, Palko urges would-be student athletes and their parents to make certain those words stay in their proper order.
A student comes first. I mean, that's why you're a student athlete. You're not an athlete student or an athletic student. You're a student athlete. And I think that, you know, without the student, there is no athlete, because you can't just come here and play football. That's it. Thank you.
It is true of all high school sports, says Palko, but a mistake most often made by high school football players. A, choosing a school based on the opportunity to play non-scholarship football, even if the school doesn't have the career path best suited for you. And B, thinking competition exists only on the field.
Whether you go to St. Francis or whether you go to Penn State, eventually the athletic part's going to run out and the student's going to take over. So I think that you need to devote your time and really focus on, you know, getting your education, because it's so important nowadays. You know, you compete in every facet of your life. You know, you strive to be the best, not maliciously, or, you know, go out there and, you know, it's not like a cutthroat thing, but you go out there and when you go to class, you want to be the best student. You want to really make the teacher take notice. You know, this kid's really got it. You're not a business major, are you?
Once a student hits campus, there's also a matter of homesickness. A student athlete can't get home very often, so plan on staying in touch by phone or email, but also understand that being away from mom and dad is an inevitable part of life.
Very few of us, you know, if any, get a job right by their home. They can live by their parents and see them every day. I mean, a lot of people got to go out, experience new things. That's how you grow, how you develop, and become more successful, making more contacts, stuff like that. But it comes with the territory. I mean, some people, you know, it'll take a little while to get adjusted to, but you know, I tell them just to hang in there and it'll get better. My sophomore year, my junior year, I got suites, so we didn't have. It wasn't as.
Parents grooming their kids for school or students prepping for college life need to understand, says Palko, for many, it will be the first taste of freedom. So maybe, before they're out of the house, getting them used to doing it on their own will help them when mom and dad are only a picture in the dorm room.
It's a good transitioning period into being an adult where you don't have anybody telling you what to do. You know, if you got to show up at your job at 8 o'clock, if you're not there at 8 o'clock, you know, you can be there at 8:10 consistently, your butt will be gone real quick.
All right, we will have more on what to expect for soon-to-be college-level student athletes over the next 2 nights with Palko. All right, we do have a few more election bases left to cover, but first, part 2 in our 3-part series in prepping your student athlete for college life.
We started last night through the eyes of one of the best, with a focus on what a freshman can expect. Tonight, more from St. Francis student athlete Luke Palko.
You know, we honestly didn't plan this for election night, but it couldn't have come on a better night. Palko is a standout football talent and is being honored for being one of the nation's top academic athletes as well. Having said that, the Red Flash wideout says for the best student athlete, there's more than just classrooms and practice fields that need to be done if you're going to make the most of your college experience.
So we thought about maybe trying to contact a local. I think isn't there like a national like reading month? I think the only problem we run across with that is they have school Monday through Friday, and that's when we have.
Luke Palko, St. Francis wide receiver, nationally recognized academic, and head of the Student Athletic Advisory Committee at St. Francis, just one of many student organizations on any college campus that Palko says a new student needs to become a part of.
You always see things wrong. Everybody sees things wrong. And there's a difference between people actually doing something about it and people just kind of complaining about it and really not acting on it. And I think this really gives people a way to kind of voice their opinions and kind of get the people to see the perception that they want to make this a better place, you know.
Palko hits the practice field to make him a better player, the books to be a better student and one-day employee. His involvement in a student group, well, that improves campus life, but also preps him for school boards, PTO, corporate boards, any of the many groups adults function in once they're out in the real world. In other words, just one more learning tool a student needs to take advantage of.
I think it's very important for people to get involved, because I mean, if everybody takes the attitude that, you know, oh, the next person will do it, then, you know, a couple of years nobody will do it, because everybody's thinking, oh, he's going to do it, she's going to do it. And then when student government elections come up, nobody will be on the ballot because everybody thinks everybody else is doing it. But I think it's important for people to step up, and it's also a good way to gain social skills, to kind of politic per se with people and kind of gain contacts and stuff like that.
You have moved up.
So if you are a would-be student, expect to get involved. If you are a parent of a student athlete preparing to hit campus, perhaps stressing both in words and actions how being involved is the best way to learn more and ultimately make things better for us all.
I think it's vital. Coming to school, my grandfather recently passed away, not this past year, the one before, and he told me when you go to whatever you do in life, when you go to St. Francis, leave there and say that you were able to impact it and make it a better place, whether it's great or small.
All right, tomorrow night, a look at the on-field demands of being a college-level athlete and what to expect if you or someone you love hopes to play at the university level.
Luke Palko, student athlete at St. Francis University, and the focus of our three-part series in prepping your son or daughter for life on campus in that same role.
In part 3 tonight, Palko explains the need for patience as big fish in little ponds head for larger waters, as well as what it means to wear a university's colors.
Playing football is a privilege. It's not a right. It's not given to everybody. So what comes with that territory is being a respectable citizen, not being arrogant, not coming to class late all the time because you kind of give everybody else on your team a bad name.
Luke Palko obviously takes a lot of pride in being able to play football for St. Francis University. It's a pride he says your son or daughter should share and fully understand as they head off to the campus and or team of their choice.
Luke, stay there. Come back.
Most importantly, when you're representing university, you're not just representing yourself. You represent the entire athletic department and the entire university as a whole. So when you walk around, you have a competition in New Jersey, you walk around that St. Francis hooded sweatshirt on, you represent the entire population and anybody that's ever went there.
Give me the ball back.
One of the most important aspects of being a new college student athlete, well, in part, it's about forgetting about being a high school star. Keep in mind, everyone around you now was a standout, and the playing field has changed. So give yourself some time and a chance to grow.
You go right from the top to the bottom real fast. It's just like moving up from junior high to varsity. Then when you're in varsity to college, you were the big dog, but throw a bunch of big dogs in the same place, and some people are going to be big dogs, some people are going to be small dogs, and I think that people kind of need to learn a little bit of humility and understand that maybe I do need to work on stuff. I'm not going to play right now, but maybe I'll play in a couple years if I keep doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Go, 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 go!
By NCAA rule, a team can only mandate 20 hours of practice time a week. But just like each of your classes will require extra time, expect to do more on your own, from game film to weight room, if you expect to do more than just get by.
And as a student athlete, you don't necessarily have to work. You could not work and squeak by the seat of your pants, or you can choose to really attack it with an attitude that you're gonna do the best you can and do whatever it takes. And
the individual games or sporting events, says Palko, are important as they unfold, but you need to have a greater understanding that all you are doing as a student athlete prepares you for something more.
You have to get used to, schedules that are set. You have to get used to a little bit of free time and make sure you use that free time wisely, because if you don't, you'll find yourself in a heap of trouble. But I think it goes back to, college is such an awesome experience because you're not a full-time adult, but you're not a full-time kid. You're kind of teetered in the middle there, and I think it kind of helps you get on your way to being an adult and growing as a person.
All right, by the way, Luke Palko is brother of University of Pittsburgh quarterback Tyler Palko. As for Luke's future, he says he'd like to keep playing football with a realistic chance of playing in the Canadian Football League, but he says he won't settle for a level of play much lower because he has prepared himself academically to get on with his life. An attitude, he adds, a college athlete must have because sports can be gone in an instant.